Okay, students, good morning to all of you. So, today we are going to discuss one important derivation, Anna. That is thin lenses in contact. When two lenses of focal length f1 and f2, if they are in contact with each other, then what is their effective focal length or equivalent focal length? 5 marks question important. Okay. Yes. Topic is thin lens in contact. Okay. Yeah. Important for your board exam. I think so. This question I am expecting for 5 marks this year. They may ask. Chances are there. Okay. Yes. Let us consider two lenses like this. And these two lenses are thin lenses. Nana. Two thin lenses. No. Not good. Yes. So imagine they are in contact. Okay. Here contact is there. Let us suppose. Okay. Yes. And it is their principal axis. Let us suppose it is their principal axis. Okay. Now let us suppose this lens is L1 and this lens is L2. Okay. Yes. Now let us suppose that there is one object is there. O. Okay. And this object is at a distance of U. Let us suppose. At what distance? U distance. Let us suppose from these two lenses. Okay. Yes. Now what happened first? One ray will originate from the object and it will incident on the first lens L1, and this first lens L1 will form its real image, okay, at some place. Let us suppose its real image is formed somewhere else here. Okay, real image is formed here somewhere else. Let us suppose. Okay, yes, here it is formed. Okay, what is that one? Image. Let us suppose it is I dash. Okay, and let us suppose this I dash image is at a distance of something you call x distance. It has formed. Okay, now according to lens formula, according to lens formula, according to lens formula, we know 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to what? 1 by f. Okay. Now let us suppose this lens is having a focal length f1 and this lens is having a focal length f2. Imagine first. Okay. Yes. Now where this f1 focal length form its image at a distance of x1. So what is the v value here? X. And what is the u value here? U only. And what is the f value here? F1. Let us substitute in this. What you will get? See, you will get 1 by x minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f1. Let us call this is equation number 1. Okay. Yes. Now here see in this diagram, this image I dash is formed due to only lens L1. Now lens L2 also will form its image. For that, image I dash acts as a virtual object for lens L2, and due to that, it will form its real image. It will form its real image here like this. So as this ray is traveling like this, here it will diverge, and one more time a lens action will be there. So its image, let us suppose it is a final image. Here it has formed, and this final image is at a distance of, let us suppose, v distance from a lens L2. Okay. Now again apply lens formula. Again apply lens formula for this. What you will get now for lens formula? Now for lens L2, you are having object distance u as x. Okay na? Yes. Now this is the object for this lens L2, and object distance how much na? X. And image distance what, ray? Where image has formed at a distance of v, we have imagined. And what is the focal length of this second lens? Focal length of second lens is L2, f2. Now substitute these all values in that lens maker's formula. 1 by v minus 1 by u. 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f. Substitute, what you will get? See, you will get 1 by v value is v itself, minus 1 by u value is x, is equal to 1 by f1. Okay, equation number 2, let us suppose. Okay, now imagine these two lenses. If we replace these two lenses, what I have written? Oh, sorry, here f2, no? Yes, good. By mistake, I have written 1 by f2. Okay, now see, in these two lenses, if we replace these two lenses with one equivalent lens, shape is not good. If we replace these two lenses with one equivalent lens like this, okay, then this equivalent length will have a focal length f1, f, and it, let's imagine this is the object, and this object is at a distance of u from a lens, and image will form, a real image will form at a distance of v from a lens. So from this data, we can say, according to lens maker's formula, lens formula, 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f, we can say. Okay, this is equation number 3, you say. Okay, you know this one. This is equivalent lens. Okay, now you are having two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2. Now add equations 1 and 2. Add equations 1 and 2. Two equations you add. What will you get then? First equation is 1 by x minus 1 by u. Left hand side I have written. Second equation left hand side also write. Plus 1 by v, because I am adding, minus 1 by x is equal to, right hand side add. First equation is 1 by f1. Second equation is plus 1 by f2. Yes. Now plus 1 by x minus 1 by x cancel. What you are having now? You are having 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. Okay. Now see equation number 3, you see. Equation number 3, you see. What is that one? 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f, no? Means this 1 by v minus 1 by u, we can replace with a equivalent focal length. 1 by f is equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. Yes. This is the expression for focal length of two thin lenses when they are in contact with each other. It's important for 5 marks. Easy derivation, they may ask you. Okay, I am expecting this question in your exam this year. This year I am expecting this question. Okay. So any doubt in this derivation? You meet and see once. Good. 31 are there. Good. Koti Jonah, how are you? Shall I go to next derivation? Deviation through a prism. Are you listening, students? Are you there? Or just on your mobile phone and something else you are doing? Okay. Now, next derivation, let us see. Next derivation is deviation through a prism. That is, show that refractive index of a prism is mu is equal to sine of a plus delta m by 2 divided by sine a by 2. This derivation we have to derive. Okay, this is our present topic. Let us discuss this one. Okay, yeah. So first, let us consider one prism. Let us consider a prism. Here I'll draw. Imagine this is a prism. Okay. Now, this prism naming I am giving you A, B, C. AB and AC are the refracting surfaces, and BC is the phase of this prism, and angle A is the angle of the prism. Let us suppose angle of the prism is angle A. Okay, BC is the base of the prism. AB and AC are the refracting surfaces. Okay, now let us draw two normals. One normal I am drawing for this first. I am drawing one normal. Okay, now let us allow one ray of light to incident on a first refracting surface AB. Okay, on first reflecting surface AB, I am allowing one ray of light to incident. Okay, yes. Yes. So one ray of light is instant. One ray of light is instant on a first refracting surface AB, and this is making some angle. Let us suppose this angle is I angle it is making. Okay. Yes. So by making some angle of incident I with the normal to the first refracting surface, imagine one ray is instant on a first refracting surface. Now let us suppose this outer medium is having refractive index 1, and this is having some refractive index mu or n. Okay, clear? Or it is mu, some refractive index it is having. Okay, now because this is the prism is a denser medium, ray instead of going straight, instead of going in straight line like this, instead of going in straight line like this, it has to go a straight line. If this prism is not there, instead of going like this, it will bend towards the normal like this. It will bend towards the normal by making some angle of refraction. Imagine R1. Okay. Now on second surface, on a second surface, again draw one normal. Draw another normal on the second surface. Yes, here. Another normal. Let us imagine n dash. Okay. Now extend this normal in backward direction, and this is also extending backward direction. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now imagine this ray is incident on a this refracted ray from a first refracting surface. It is incident on a second refracting surface AC, and with angle of incident, let us imagine it is R2. Okay. Now as it is emerging out to the refracting medium into rarer medium, what will happen? It will bend away from the normal. It will bend, instead of going straight like this, it will bend away from the normal like this. Okay, it will bend away from the normal, uh, and so that it will make some angle of emergence E, let us suppose. Clear? Okay. Now, so you need to find deviation. How much ray will get deviated? That you need to find. So for that, what you need to do is just extend this ray. Just extend this ray in backward direction like this. You extend this ray in backward direction like this. Okay. Now this original extended incident ray and extended refracted ray in backward direction, they will intersect with each other by making some angle. Okay, this angle. Okay, see, if this prism is not there, it has to go straight like this, but due to this prism, the final ray is going like this. Means how much it is deviated? It is deviated this much. Okay, the ray has deviated this much. Okay, clear, students? Yes. So this deviated angle we need to find. Okay. Now let us do one naming for these all points. Okay. Now let us suppose a ray PQ is incident on a first refracting surface, and QR is the first refracted ray. Okay. RS is the second final refracted ray. Okay. And let us suppose this point where the incident ray and refracted ray extended backward intersect each other, that is, let us suppose T, let us suppose. Okay. And let us suppose this point, point is, let us suppose something U, let us suppose. Okay. Yes. Now see, observe carefully, observe carefully. See this red color line and green color line. This is angle of incident I, correct? Now this angle and this angle you observe carefully. Both are equal, no? Yes, this is also I. Correct what I said? Yes, perfect. Okay, this angle and this angle is exactly equal because they are opposite angles, alternate angles. Clear? Yes. Now, if this is I and this is R1, then what will be this angle, Nana? What will be this angle? I minus R1. Correct? Yes. One more point. See this red color N dash and S ray. This angle is E. Then what will be this angle, Nana? This angle also E. Correct? Yes. This is R2, right? This is E. Okay. Yes. Now, as this is E and this is R2, then what will be this angle, Nana? This angle will be E minus R2. Correct? Yes. E minus R2 angle. Okay. Now, you see triangle. From triangle, I think so you understood this I minus R1, E minus R2 angles. How many of you understood this one? If you understand this, this derivation will be easy. Otherwise, you need to by heart. Why to by heart? Any doubt in that? I'm waiting for your response. I want answer not from Akanksha, not from Vivek. I want answer from I'll tell you names. Guru, Prudvi, Sahana, Sangamesh, Sanjeev. You need to answer. Okay, no problem. So, are you listening, students? Sangamesh, Sneha, good, Sangamesh. What about Sneha? Are you there, Sneha? Oh, sorry, Sahana. Okay. Yes. Now, see from a triangle, T Q R. T Q R triangle. You see. Angle TQR, that is nothing but I minus R1, and angle TRQ, that is nothing but E minus R2. Yes, this angle I minus R1, TRQ, E minus R2. These are interior opposite angles, correct? And angle delta is the exterior angle. We know from the properties of a triangle that exterior angle should be equal to sum of two interior opposite angles, means I minus R1 plus E minus R2. This is the equation I am writing from the properties of triangle. If any triangle is there, in the triangle, suppose here one triangle is there, let us suppose like this. Okay. Now in this triangle, this, imagine this is something A angle, then this is B angle, this is C angle. Then we can say A angle will be equal to B plus C. Okay, exterior angle is equal to sum of two interior angles. Always it is. valid. Okay, remember. Okay, na? Clear? Yes, from that property I have written that one. That means we can say delta is equal to I plus E minus R1 minus R2. That is, delta can be written as delta deviation produced in a light ray due to prism is delta is equal to I plus E minus R1 plus R2. Can we write? Yes. Remember this equation. Okay. One more point. See triangle. See this triangle carefully. Observe this triangle carefully. If you observe this triangle carefully, see this is the normal. Means angle AQU AQU. How much, Nana? 90 degrees, no? Yes. For this refracting surface, this normal, this is a normal. Normal is perpendicular. Means this total angle should be 90 degrees. And angle ARU. Sorry. Angle ARU. This is also 90 degrees. Correct? Yes. Okay. And see, there is one quadrilateral. AQUR is a quadrilateral. Sum of the total angles in quadrilateral, how much, Nana? 360 degrees. Means angle A plus angle AQU plus angle U plus angle ARU should be equal to 360 degrees. That means we can say angle A plus this is 90 degrees I said plus angle U plus again this is 90 degrees should be equal to 360 degrees. Means A plus U should be equal to 180 degrees. Correct? 90 90 is 180. 180 going to that side. 360 minus 180 is 180. Okay. This is equation number 1 you say. This is equation number 2 you say. Okay. Now again see triangle. See a triangle. Yeah, this is going to minimize still. Why? I'll write this side. Okay. See from triangle. This triangle QUR triangle you see. Okay. R1 plus U plus R2 should be equal to how much, Nana? 180 degrees. Yes or no? Yes. We can say. Means R1 plus R2 plus U should be equal to 180 degrees. Okay. This is equation number something. Yes, what to say? Equation number 3 you say. This is equation number 3 you say. Okay. So equation 3 I'll write down. What is that one? R1 plus R2 plus U should be equal to 180 degrees. Equation number 3. From equations 2 and 3, what we can say? A plus U should be equal to R1 plus R2. That means, sorry, R1 plus R2 plus U. Means U cancel. You'll get A is equal to R1 plus R2. Yes. This point is very important. You need to remember this. Equation number 4. Okay. A value is R1 plus R2. Means from equation 1, we can say deviation is equal to I plus E minus R1 plus R2 is A. Okay, yes, we can say deviation produced in a light ray is this much. Equation number 5 we make it. Okay. Clear, students? Yes. So deviation produced in a light ray is I plus E minus A. Now, okay. Now let us do this thing for a minimum deviation. For minimum deviation of a sorry. Now for minimum deviation. Minimum deviation. If you draw one graph between deviation produced in light ray and angle of incident, you will get a graph like this. You will get the graph like this. Means this is the experimental data. Now, from this graph, what we can analyze is for any one particular deviation angle. For any one particular deviation angle, there are two angle of incidence. There are two angle of incidence, I1 and I2. Okay. Now from this data, we can analyze that as this angle of incidence is increasing, deviation produced in a layer is decreasing. At one particular instant, the deviation produced in light ray becomes minimum. This deviation produced in light ray becomes minimum, Nana. It will become minimum. Okay. So for this minimum deviation, angle of incident is only one value. For one particular angle of incident, deviation produced in light ray will be minimum. After that, again, if you increase the angle of incident, deviation start increases again. Again, you will have two types of deviations. Okay, means deviation produced in a light ray due to a prism is minimum only at one particular angle of incident. Okay, and at that angle of incident, we can say deviation is minimum when I is equal to E. Means when deviation is minimum, the ray which I have shown you here, this ray, this ray will become symmetrical about this base. Means it will become parallel, so that I will be equal to E. Okay. Now when I is equal to E, when I is equal to E, then R1 also becomes equal to R2. That implies A is equal to R1 plus R2, no? Then A will become R by 2, we can say. Because R1 and R2 are equal. Then A will become R by 2. Now, we know according to Snell's law. According to Snell's law. Sorry. Snell's law. We know that N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. Means refractive index of the prism is equal to sin I by sin R. Clear? Yes. Now, you see equation number 5, we see. Equation number 5. Okay. See, delta is equal to I plus E minus A. Equation 5. Equation 5 is delta is equal to I plus E minus A. Okay. When delta is minimum, we can say I is equal to E, then delta minimum is equal to 2I minus A, because I is equal to E. Then 2I is equal to delta minimum plus A. Then I is equal to what, Nana? Delta minimum plus A by 2. Okay. Yes. Say, yes. This is equation number 6. You say this is equation number 7. This is equation number 8. Okay. Sorry, 8. Substitute equations 6 and 8 in equation 7. What you will get? N is equal to sine I by sine R. Okay. Sine I value what? Sine of A plus delta M by 2. Correct? I value divided by sine R value what? From equation number 8. Sine R is equal to A by 2. Yes or no? See this? A is equal to R by 2. Sorry. A is equal to 2 or no? Yes. That implies R is equal to A by 2. Correct? That's equation number 6. So, final answer, N is equal to sine of A plus delta M by 2 divided by sine A by 2.